On this episode of Strange Town, we investigate a local downtown restaurant in Austin, Texas, where unsettled spirits have been continually reported.
I got that sickly sweet smell that's overripe fruit or rotting flowers.
We investigate the Clay Pit. My name is Mark Morrow.
And my name is Billy Driver.
We are here to seek out claims from ordinary people who come in contact with the unknown. Real stories.
Real evidence.
Welcome to our world. And welcome to Strange Town. Over 150 years ago, Austin pioneer and merchant Rudolph Bertram built this limestone building to house his general store and to provide himself a living quarters upstairs. Today, the building is home to a popular contemporary Indian restaurant, the Clay Pit. The year is 1854. 8 years after Austin officially became the capital of Texas. This bustling city saw dramatic population and economic growth, which attracted the likes of Rudolph Bertram, who migrated from Germany. By saving his money as a farm helper and horse caretaker, he built a hardware, repair, and general store in 1872, which still resides in its current location. The store offered groceries, household supplies and furniture, farming tools, seed, and whiskey. It was also a rare trading post where the ousted native Comanches bartered with the white man. As business blossomed, he married Bertha Crone, also a German immigrant, and together they had 8 children. A second floor was eventually added onto the store, and this became where the family lived. In 1879, the Bertram family suffered a catastrophic loss. Already losing 1 child in the years prior, 3 of his existing children died within a year of each other from an ongoing epidemic. There are no factual records, but our research indicates that 2 of the children most likely died from diphtheria. But in 1880, here in this room, one of the children was quarantined away from the family residence with typhoid fever and died shortly after. It is speculated that in the double-arched cellar of Bertram's store, an underground tunnel once connected to the state capitol building. It was supposedly used to transport and store the state's gold during its construction in the late 1800s. According to the authors of In Spirits of the Border 5, The History and Mystery of the Lone Star State, there was a second tunnel. One that led to a nearby brothel where high-class males could be seen coming or going without being noticed. A prostitute, now referred to as the Scarlet Lady, is rumored to have been murdered here, a tragedy that no one cared to solve. In his later years, Rudolph became an alderman of Austin and was the largest bondholder, and also a strong supporter of the enterprise which built the railroad north to town, which is now named after him, Bertram, Texas. It is no secret that this restaurant is haunted. Is it that a member of the Bertram family never fully left? Is the cellar haunted by a murdered woman nicknamed the Scarlet Lady? We meet up with Christopher English from Haunted ATX, who adds to the cellar's history.
Well, it was used as a wine cellar, and also they stored the state treasury along with gunpowder, molasses, wine, and whiskey. They say there used to be a tunnel that led to a brothel, which Austin was full of in the 1800s. Downtown was actually known as Guy Town in the warehouse district because it was the largest red light district in the Southwest. So they say that there was a prostitute that was murdered down in the basement. And the guy that murdered her got away, and so she stuck around for redemption. And she likes to mess with wait staff and people that go down in there. Like if they're trying to take a nap, she'll wake them up by saying their names in her ear, in their ear and stuff like that.
Longtime employee Helton Goins contributes to this claim.
Guy that started working here, his name was Chad, and he came down here to take a nap, and he said that a lady kept calling his name and started tapping me on the shoulder, I guess to wake him up. And he woke up and he was like, what? There was nobody down here. And as you can see, there's no way that anybody could do that and get out of here without being seen. There's only a few servers that work here that haven't heard their name called out by her at different times, and we believe it's the same lady. I think the biggest experience that I've had in the restaurant took place right out here. I got here early, it was just me and the owner, one of the owners, and we were putting up the buffet for lunch. And so we were the only two people here. We were just setting up the buffet. We were goofing off, and he goes, you know you're my favorite. And I'm like, no, you're my favorite. And he goes, no, you're my favorite. So we kind of went back and forth like that for a couple minutes. I had this whole row of tables at lunch. I walked up to this table, table 21. There were two gentlemen sitting there. I picked up the first one's glass, and as I was filling it up, I heard over my shoulder somebody go, no, you're my favorite. And I felt the breath on my ear, and I kind of smiled because I thought it was the owner. And I turned around and there was nobody here. Nobody. So it kind of freaked me out. So I was just kind of standing there trying to process, and I looked at them. They heard it. I heard it. And I was thinking, you know, if it was a server messing with me, there's no way that they could throw their voice like that. Nobody knew that that was said except for me and Bali, and he had left like 4 hours before this even happened. He wasn't even in the building.
No, you're my favorite.
It was about 7 o'clock at night, and I was coming back here to check on my food, and found my coworkers here, and then next thing we knew, one of these glass racks behind me just toppled over like they were thrown, but nobody was around. Our Tupperwares and stuff, every once in a while we'll have our to-go supplies just kind of fly out. We've had stacks of plates just topple over for no reason.
We speak with Dredd in the upstairs parlor, who had this story to share with us.
One night I was working at a private party, a wedding party up here. And towards the end of the night, the wedding party was at the far end of the hall. They were doing their final dances and hooping and hollering. And I was back here just waiting for everything to wind down. And I bent over to pick up something off the ground. And as I stood up, I felt something brush the top of my head. And I looked up and thought, something fall from the ceiling? Like, was it one of my locks of hair? I'm like, no. So that's peculiar. I was like, okay. All right, just kind of blew it off. About a half an hour later, I'm here and I'm finishing up, cleaning up, and I backed up to turn around, and as I'm backing up, I felt two hands on me, like I was backing into someone, and it was on my hip and right below my shoulder blade. So obviously someone smaller than I, and I'm like, whoa, you know. I got that sickly sweet smell that's overripe fruit or rotting flowers. So I just closed my eyes and I sensed around for them. And I stuck up my arm and I looked at the hairs on my arm. They were standing up. I was like, okay, pretty sure that was a little boy. That's from what I understand. So.
We continue speaking with Justin in the room where the little boy died from typhoid fever.
This is what we call the Bombay room. This is upstairs. This is where we keep private parties, like no more than like 60 people. About a year and a half ago, I had a party up here that I was finishing up cleaning, and I just got this sense of dread. And I know that this is like one of the most active places in the building. It's just a presence, an unnatural presence. Like you feel like somebody's watching you, maybe even multiple people. It's just a very uneasy feeling, and it's just nerve-wracking.
He also shared this other staff member's encounter.
Somebody was closing up here, and there's a back area.
He was about to walk out the door, and he stopped and turned around, just scanned the hall to make sure he'd gotten everything and all the tablecloths. And he just like take a quick glance, and he turns around, and at the corner of his eye, he was like, wait a minute. He saw what he said was a little boy right around the corner sticking his head out, waving like goodbye. And he went, I thought everyone was gone, and he turned back around, and there was nobody there. So he kind of said, I looked around a little bit, and I didn't see anyone. He said the wedding party had been long gone.
And he was by himself, and he was just getting ready to leave. So there's like creepy stories like that will happen. Also, we've had employees that will say that it looks like there's people all dressed in black walking into the room on several occasions. When you walk into this room, if you look, there's nowhere to go. Nobody can leave this room, and nobody comes out of it. So there's no explaining what they saw, but it's seen several times. It's a recurring thing. I believe there's a little boy that messes with us. I think that's also the same spirit that's downstairs playing games, knocking over things just to make a mess because he thinks it's funny. The time I felt dread, it didn't feel like a little boy. It felt like a male figure, an intimidating figure, kind of. That's the only way I can explain it. It was intimidating. It wasn't like a playful spirit.
For this investigation, we're going to have 4 night vision cameras running. This camera is in Bertram's original family room. This is where they once stayed. This is also the room where the little boy died from typhoid fever in the 1800s. This camera is in the upstairs parlor. The little boy has been seen running around up here. And also there have been reports of other dark shadows. This camera is in the dining hall. Here to my left is where Helton heard that male's voice right behind his ear.
No, you're my favorite.
I am in the underground cellar. Legend has it, a woman was once murdered in these now sealed off tunnels. One came from the capital, and one led to a brothel. And staff have also heard the names being called down here by an unknown woman.
We begin by heading into the cellar. This is a millimeter. It picks up whatever kind of electromagnetic energy is in the air, and we like to do a sweep of the room real quick and get a baseline reading. We like to see 0. That means there's no interference, so that if it does register a number or spike in any way, it's a good indicator that something may be in the room with us. The EMF field registered a 0 throughout the room. I keep hearing that cabinet.
What was that?
That was big. Something big just happened. We hear a loud bang, which sounded like a heavy door slamming shut. None of our equipment picked up this sound, but we head upstairs to investigate the cause. While the cellar was vacant, we recorded an EVP of what sounds like rocks being thrown behind our camera. Or is it loose limestone crumbling from above? After walking the entire building and finding nothing out of the ordinary, we resume our investigation.
We're going to try to do a spirit box and try to communicate with possibly a murdered woman down here, or a lot of people claim or think that's who it is. So what this device does, it scans the radio waves at such a rapid pace
and it emits a white noise in between the radio stations, and supposedly a spirit can communicate within that white noise, and we can hear it in real time.
Did you die in this tunnel?
Or maybe you were a prostitute, a lady of the night. Some believe you could have been nicknamed the Scarlet Lady.
I think somebody just touched my ear. I'm standing right next to what used to be a tunnel entrance. Are you coming in and out of the tunnel? Am I in your way? Man, that was weird.
Somebody touched Mark's ear. Can you tell us your name? Who keeps messing with Mark? Are you touching his ear? Can you say yes? Can you confirm?
Obviously there's nothing up here hanging. There's no spiders or anything, no spider webs. We haven't seen one insect since we've been here. I don't know what it is, but it's the same feeling as like a cobweb on your ear. It's just this light kind of tingling sensation. Following that encounter, we sit by the cabinet where I heard noises coming from earlier and continue the spirit box session. What we heard next is unnerving. Where did these tunnels used to go? Why were you in them? We continue on and head upstairs to the former family room.
Right, we're here in the room where the Bertram family once lived.
According to our research into the records, he was 10 years old when he passed away, and that pretty much describes the height of the shadow that people have been seeing throughout this room and the other rooms. And it was in this room that he passed away. So it's most likely he's the one here, and that he's the one that we're looking for. Please move it if you like. It's going to be here all night. It's yours to play with.
Should we mark it with tape? We should.
Yeah, we should for reference. I'll go get some.
Okay.
Wish me luck.
Okay, good luck.
I leave the room to retrieve a roll of tape from our bag in the next room over. Billy.
Yep.
Somebody just pulled on my pants.
Really?
Yeah, out here.
Let's have a look.
I was about right here-ish. I was about right here, headed back that way. It was about here where I felt the tug. Just one quick tug on my back of my leg.
I have a normal vinyl ball, and I'm just going to take this ball and just throw it down this hallway here and see if I can get anybody to roll it back to me. Can you push that ball back to me? Can you roll it back to me? Can you push that ball back? Smell something?
Yeah. I just got a whiff of.
Is it musky?
Yeah.
Yeah, I smell it too.
I don't think that was here before.
No, I just noticed.
Ooh. Is someone up here with us? Wow. That's really strong.
Yeah, it's strong.
Who's in
There's
here
a
with us
strong
right
musky smell that we're smelling.
It's just wafting this direction of musky smell. Who's up here with us? It's gone now. At least where I am.
Yeah, it was weird. It just kind of came and left.
It came and left. We take a break behind the bar. Yeah, me too. Unbeknownst to us, our camera is capturing significant activity. Upon later review, we see an orb fall from the ceiling, travel along the row of chairs, and collide into our camera's tripod with enough force to make it shake. We then see another orb falling from the same location and disappearing down the hall away from us. Here it is again in real time. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I think that espresso is probably drying me out. Keeping me up though.
My 5 hour and my... Earlier that night, I placed my camera on the seat circled in red. The camera seems to be pushed over right before the orb passes in front of it. Here it is, zoomed in. Yeah, me too. The orb also appears to take on a different shape as it gets closer to the camera. Is this the spirit of the little boy being playful with our cameras? Or is it another spirit that doesn't want to be seen? We continue to the dining hall, but before doing so, we leave one more piece of equipment upstairs. We've left a laser up here that shoots a grid over the entire room, and we've also set up a camera that will take a picture every 5 seconds. So with these two devices working together, we'll be able to go through the pictures and see if any movement has occurred.
Yeah, so while we're here at the table, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do the flashlight communication method. So what you do, you just take a regular flashlight, kind of twist the end of it to where it barely wants to turn on, and you just place it down on your table or surface, and you ask yes or no questions, and if it turns on, it can signify yes answer. So if there's anyone in this dining room area, upstairs or downstairs, come in here where you can hear my voice.
Without picking up any paranormal activity, we head back upstairs to check on our laser grid. Smell that?
Yes.
It's strong.
It's super strong.
That is a strong odor. Who's up here with us? Oh my, come over here. Come smell this.
Yep, I smell it. That musky smell.
Wow, that is strong. Let's go check out this room. Oh my, who's up here with us right now?
Is there anybody up here with us?
What's your name? What are you doing up here? You want to talk to us? Anybody in here? It doesn't smell in here.
No.
Wow. Our laser grid camera took over 1,000 consecutive pictures. All of them look identical, except for one. For this split second of time, a black mass appears near the entrance to the former family room. This dark figure is able to block out several of the laser dots, and even obstructs the light reflection cast on the floor. Our night at the clay pit proved to be an interesting one. We now fully understand why this is considered to be one of the most haunted locations in Austin. Not only do the paranormal stories coincide with the building's history, but the spirits within seem to interact with the living as if they never left. Is the little boy who died from typhoid fever the playful one? And the one seen standing by his room? Musky smell that we're smelling. It's just wafting this direction of musky smell. Does his presence give off the musky smell that Dredd described as overripe fruit or rotting flowers? Did we encounter a murdered prostitute trapped within the tunnels that described her life as hell? Not once did we fear for our safety or encounter anything negative. The stories and history of this building are intriguing and play a pivotal part in shaping Austin's history. The Clay Pit is known for its fine cuisine, and now known for the ghost stories told through the staff. Even though they share a space with another dimension, these spirits are just as curious as we are. Until next time, happy haunting.